Have you ever laid eyes on anything like this before? Most likely, you would say no. It seems really bizarre, like something out of a treasure hunt film. Yes, this is really real. Among all books ever written, the Ethiopian Bible ranks high on the list of those who find it puzzling and divisive. There are unanswered questions around the nation itself. However, it may be addressed at a later time. As the only African nation that has escaped colonization, Ethiopia is also the birthplace of one of the world's oldest civilizations. That is how they were able to establish a direct ancestry from Noah's son Ham. Judaism has even confirmed this. While the nation is the subject of several videos, this one focuses on its possessions. Some of the earliest known Bible scrolls are in Ethiopia. In fact, they predate the well-known KJV Bible by centuries. The 66-book King James Version isn't the only one in the Bible. The 88-book Ethiopic Bible has volumes that other denominations simply do not have. Rare and previously unseen scrolls from the Old and New Testaments are included in the book. Even more intriguing is the fact that these scrolls predate the arrival of Christianity in their culture by centuries, dating back to far before the 4th century. To rephrase, unlike other countries, they did not receive Christianity as a gift. By the 4th century, Christianity had spread across Ethiopia. Christians have always held sway in Ethiopia. During his voyage to Ethiopia in the mid-6th century, the Egyptian historian, explorer, and monk Cosmos Indicopleustes noted that the country was mostly Christian. As he watched, the rulers of Ethiopia welcomed many Christian refugees who had escaped persecution in other kingdoms and empires that had outright forbidden Christianity. Christians have been worshipped by certain Ethiopian tribes for more than 3,500 years. So, contrary to popular belief, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, or TIHO in Ethiopian, is the world's oldest Christian organization, not the Catholic Church. Additionally, in 2010, a monastery atop a mountain in Ethiopia revealed one of the oldest illustrated Christian books ever discovered. The book included portions of the Gospels written in Guizi, an ancient Ethiopian language. The Sacred Book of Ethiopia, the Kebra Nagast, states that in the 10th century BC, a monarch of Ethiopia who was also the legendary queen of Sheba traveled to Jerusalem to seek the counsel of King Solomon. Even the accepted canon of Scripture attests to it, although the Bible omits the fact that the two kings had a son, Menelik. Once returned to Ethiopia, the young man was bestowed the title of first emperor by Queen Sheba. A 2012 study by scientists who analyzed the DNA of a large number of Ethiopians revealed proof that Sheba's birth and subsequent travel to Jerusalem were really true. The myth is further supported by the belief that Egyptian, Israeli, or Syrian people may have mingled with the local Ethiopians approximately 3,000 years ago, when the queen was supposedly ruling the kingdom of Sheba. The Ethiopian Bible is still rejected and not included in the sacred book's canon, even though it has all these certifications and is genuine. Even among fellow Christians, the Ethiopian Bible is a complete mystery. That should give you an idea of how far the efforts to destroy and conceal the Ethiopian Bible went. So, why is this happening? Well, let's go back in time a little to see how that worked. There was a time when the Bible was different from how it is understood now. Numerous manuscripts of the Bible exist, each with its own unique text and set of assumptions about its meaning. The Bible was initially authored in Hebrew and then translated into other languages. Everyone knows that. An individual by the name of Saint Jerome was the first to translate from Hebrew into Latin. The Vulgate, the major Latin version or translation of the Bible, was put together by him about the year 400 and is still in use today. The New Testament consisted of 27 books, whereas the Old Testament included 39 volumes. The Hebrew Bible was its original name back then. Several works detailing the life and teachings of Jesus were published in the 1st century. But a lot of those things weren't true. These stories were based on the life of Jesus and read like fan fiction. One major issue was that when these publications were published, many people mistakenly thought they were the genuine deal. Because of the slow internet, it took a long time to verify the accuracy of these books, and we all know that false news spreads more rapidly than true news. You can only fathom the devastation that the widespread circulation of counterfeit books had upon society and the veracity of Jesus' teachings. Church officials and intellectuals met to resolve this conflict by deciding which writings should be considered canonical. The canonization of the Bible was a multi-century process that gave each book of the Bible serious thought on its legitimacy, authorship, and teachings. In the end, the writings that made it into the canon were those that the early Christians believed were both inspired by God and in line with their beliefs. Having said that, not every book was a canonical selection. The veracity or authorship of some writings was called into doubt, and they were deemed apocryphal or contested. This includes the Ethiopian Bible and all of its supplementary materials. These texts may have important cultural and historical context, but they did not make it into the Bible canon because the early church leaders had other standards. Leaving certain works out of the canon was not done on purpose to disparage or conceal them. It came about when the early church leaders went to great lengths to create a canonical library of holy scriptures that would form the basis of Christian teaching. A great deal of thought and theological judgment went into deciding which texts would become canonical and which would not. Even though it is not included in the canon of the Bible according to most Christian denominations, the Ethiopian Bible, which has a unique collection of books, holds cultural and historical importance. Keep in mind that the 66 books of the King James Bible are only one example of how many Christian traditions have their own canons. Nevertheless, outside of Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity, the Ethiopian Bible is not well known or researched, and its substance is different. Finally, the treasure trove of ancient writings known as the Ethiopian Bible provides invaluable insight into the spiritual and cultural heritage of Ethiopia. For Ethiopian Orthodox Christians and those interested in the many historical manifestations of Christianity, it is significant, even though it is not included in the Bible canon according to most Christian traditions.